Oh.
Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins. Fires. A perfect game. Roy Halladay has thrown the second perfect game in Philadelphia.
Line drive, right center field. Base hit.
Ground ball over the mound. Waiting for it. Muncy, he booted it. One runner's in. Here comes Swing. The throw. Save! Harper hits one in the air. Center field, back it goes. Harper, the swing of his life. Fastball hits the left. It is long gone. And Hamels with a 3-2 pitch, swinging a high fly ball deep center field. Herrera back on the track, and did he make the catch? He fell down and he's got.
Here's the strike by Robinson. The 3-0 pitch. Swinging long drive. There it is. Number 500. The career 500th home run.
To the left field, and it's well hit. Ryan Braun looks up. Grand slam home run for Victorino. There he goes. 3-2. It's hit in the air. Right field. It's got beautifully hit. Over.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bell Smashers podcast. This is episode 36. I am your co-host, Kylie.
And I'm Jen, wearing my
Love it. Shameless plug. Definitely check out our merch. I'm not wearing mine right now because I wore it yesterday, and we won in that game. Jen, we're hopefully about to be 2-0 when you wear yours. Trea
Correct.
Turner just went yard. Castellanos just went yard. It's 4-1 Phils in the last game of the series against the Nationals. What perfect timing to start recording this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Trea Turner, standing ovation, great weekend, and it's just kind of spiraled into this.
In a good way. There was
JT just went yard. It's hitting season.
here we go. I am not watching the game currently. So I told Kylie to just tell me the updates.
6-1 Phils.
All right. Yeah.
I'm posting the graphic as we speak.
Yes, while she is posting the graphic to our Twitter, the standing ovation, which we had a feeling would have a positive impact, did. And Trea Turner himself now has a 7-game hitting streak, including tonight, since the standing ovation happened. And that he's just one of the many guys who are starting to get super hot.
Yeah, he is. And it's kind of come at a great time. Because, I mean, right now we know where we're standing. We're currently, at time of recording, I believe it was 3.5 games up on on a wild card spot, and we're like a game up on the Giants for the first spot in the wild card. And for those who aren't familiar with the new wild card seedings, the first wild card team gets a home field wild card series and plays the second team in the wild card, and then the third team in the wild card plays the division winner of the worst record of the division winners, which is what we played in the Cardinals last year. because we were the third wild card, and they were the worst NL Central. They were the worst division winning team.
Correct. They did come in first place in the NL Central, but they had the worst record.
Now they have the worst record in the NL Central. I think.
Things change.
Apparently too quick. But as we're going on, but there has been so much going on this week. Last night, Lorenzen throws a no-hit. Throws a no-hitter. There's just a lot to go over right now.
So much. Yeah, that was amazing. I missed it.
You did? Oh, you did.
I mean, again,
No.
there's 162 games. I can't watch 100% of them live. I had a prior commitment. I never imagined it would be a no-hitter. But honestly, and I didn't feel sad or anything. Like, I just felt very happy for him and for the team. Of course, everyone was texting me like, "Are you? I'm assuming you're watching." And I was like, "Actually, I'm not." So that's okay.
Yeah.
It happens. I'm not upset about it. I rewatched the entire game because I do have MLB TV, and I wouldn't have been able to watch it on MLB TV anyway because of the blackout restrictions.
Can we talk about how stupid that is real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're paying all this money, and they even upped the cost of it.
Yeah.
It was $17.99, and now it's what, $24.99?
Yes.
Like, it's just ridiculous. And I mean, I'm able to watch it because thankfully I have family in the area, so they get the NBC Philadelphia and everything like that. But for people who aren't fortunate for that, for even their own teams, like in certain states, half the teams are blacked out entirely.
Yeah.
And you want to grow the game of baseball, yet you do stuff like this.
Absolutely right. Yep.
I don't know how Rojas turned that into a double, but I mean, what I love most about Major League Baseball is they have local broadcasts. And I know people like to harp on everybody in the broadcast except for Kruk for one thing or another. But as somebody who lives in a different state that watches a lot of different games from a lot of different teams, we are very fortunate to have who we have on our broadcast team. All of them.
I agree. I think that's a great thing about Major League Baseball too, because, for example, when the Eagles play, we often get stuck with the same commentators. So
which is not always a good thing.
Exactly right. Which is why it is unique and really nice. And then you have the opportunity to have someone like John Krug, who played on the team and has so much experience playing in Philly and being a Philly, and has all of that contextual historical knowledge and amazing, hilarious stories to go with it.
I don't know how he does it, but the way he says things too is just either hilarious or just perfect. Like when Harper tied the game up with the grand slam against the Angels, the game you were at because you just have good luck. The oh yeah, or yeah baby, or yup, or just little quick comments like that are also just perfect. And
he always knows. He'll be like, yes, as soon as the ball hits the bat.
Mm-hmm. And it amazes me every time, and it's just his hilarious stories are just to top it off.
Yeah, so that's all to say. Once again, I was not watching, and it's not the end of the world. I rewatched it. I watched all the clips and everything when I got home, and I cried, of course, and it was great. Congratulations to Michael Lorenzen, the 14th no-hitter in Phillies history. It was his first outing in Philadelphia because he literally just joined the team.
What a way to, like, come to a new team. I mean, the first game, it's against Miami, a team that no matter how good or how bad, always just plays us well.
Yep.
And they're good this year. They're a respectable team. So it's always going to be a battle with them for some weird reason. And he went 8 innings scoreless, and he had, I believe it was 6 walks.
Sounds right.
Something like that. He walked a lot of people, but they're all scoreless, and I don't remember off the top of my head who closed the game out. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Kimbrel, but game was closed out, and that was his first outing as a Philly. Looked really good, and then boom, no hitter.
I did see the MLB notification in the 7th, and I said, why are they doing this? This is a jinx. I hate when they send out the notification. I also hate when they put it up on the graphic on the broadcast.
Yep.
Thankfully, it worked out.
Yeah, I was watching the game with my mom, and I was like, Mom, watch this game. She was like, why? I was like, I can't tell you why. I'm not going to say why, but I'm hoping something continues. And she's like, why won't you tell me? When are you going to tell me? And I was like, hopefully I'll tell you when the game ends.
Yeah, you can't say no hitter.
No matter what. If you're at the game on social media, recording, you keep it out.
Mm-hmm. And I would have been doing the same thing if I were watching. I would have been telling people, turn the game on. I can't say why. Just turn it on.
Yeah, exactly. Just turn it on. Like when Jeff Passan tweeted about it, he was like, turn on the game. Just do it.
Perfect.
And there were so many other, you can tell who actually is a baseball fan, because I feel like baseball is the most superstitious of all the sports.
It is.
And so you can tell who's a real baseball fan because they'll either say it if they're the opposing team, or they won't say a word if it's their team.
That's another great point. We are used to being the team that gets no hit. So usually we're the ones that keep saying it over and over and over in the hopes that it will end.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad it went our way this time. And it's
Finally.
just really funny and ironic that right after we give Trea that standing ovation, good things seem to be happening right now.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that one thing. And I think that one thing is going to be a Marte outing right now because he just allowed 2 hits.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So.
I do want to talk about that at some point during this episode, but there were so many things that happened in last night's game.
Yeah.
I mean, including the no-hitter and Lorenzen making a comment about the fans and the energy and how it gave him the energy, the boost of energy to keep pitching. 123 pitches, and he hasn't been a starting pitcher his entire career.
It was his first year, I think.
Yeah, like he's a pretty new starting pitcher, so that's so many pitches. And just he said that the fans' energy helped him. Today, August 10th, is his dad's birthday. His dad passed away. And it's just like all of the emotions, his mom being there, his wife and their baby, seeing the teammates' reactions and them all waiting for him after he was doing his interview.
And
Liam being everywhere during this game, like the legend he is. When he was there to hug Lorenzen's mom when the game was over, it was so sweet.
It was amazing. And somebody said on Twitter just now that Aaron Chun6 said, I have a conspiracy I am 100% sold on. Liam Castellanos has like Mario pipes hidden around the stadium he can hop into and end up somewhere else seamlessly. Sounds about right.
He must. Or the kid should probably be a track star, maybe not a baseball player.
Seriously. I mean, this dude, I don't know how he does it. Because one minute he was up with the Weston Wilson family celebrating the home run, and then he comes down for Castellanos' at bat. Castellanos homers, they're talking. And then all of a sudden he goes up, he's with Lorenzen's family, and then 2 minutes later he's back down, high-fiving Lorenzen on the field. Like, this kid, it's hilarious.
It is hilarious. It's wonderful. And now Nick's mom, Michelle, has been sharing people like photoshopping Liam places. I saw one that was at the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Would not surprise me.
So I can't use I'm not very skilled at that, but if I have ideas, I'll send them to you, Kylie, and then you can just credit me.
Of course, I got you.
Thank you.
I mean, it's why this Marte has been really frustrating lately.
What did he just do?
He gave up another run, and I mean, thankfully we have runs to work with, but he just has not been solid lately.
You're right.
I would hate, I mean, obviously this is the 8th inning and we're up by 4, so hopefully we pull this out, but I would hate to waste a good Nola outing because we've had so few this year that have worked out.
Yep. And he did get out of a lot of jams tonight.
He did. Absolutely did. Only allowing one run. No, I don't even know if he allowed a run.
Strom was the first run.
That's right. Strom allowed the home run.
Yeah.
And he's been struggling lately too.
And that's my concern right now. Of course, once the offense starts heating up, then all of a sudden the bullpen isn't great.
I just need them to decide to all get together and do well together.
Yeah.
Collectively. Because, like you just said, at one point it's the pitching that's just killing it and the offense is just non-existent, and then the next month it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And they're consistently inconsistent, which...
If we weren't called Bell Smashers, we could be called consistently inconsistent.
Seriously, I mean, that's the motto of this team. That's the title of this episode. There we go.
I thought about that too, so.
Consistently inconsistent. No, but it's... I don't even know where to even continue this because there's just so much that's happened. And, I mean, this past week we've played... Last Friday, we started with the Royals. We lost that game in a very frustrating 7-5 loss. Then we won the next 2 against Kansas City. And then the Monday game was postponed, which really worked out we lost the second game, but won the first game of the doubleheader. Stupidly lost the second game, I might add.
Yeah, really. Hopefully they win tonight, but it should have been a sweep.
It absolutely should have been a sweep. I mean, it's hard to... You can't really ask a 4-game sweep against a divisional rival, no matter how good either team is or how bad either team is. But, especially in hindsight, but that game we were lost, the second game yesterday, was super winnable. And we're losing these winnable games right now.
Yep.
And I mean, some choice lineups or pitching subs. Thompson, as much as I love him, has made quite a few mistakes in the past, I'd say, month.
And I say this all the time. It's those analytics.
Mm-hmm.
This team, these managers, these coaches, they rely way too heavily on them. Yeah. Who cares about analytics? Just put your best players on the field.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to look at the analytics, Stott's batting 300 against lefties.
Yeah, Stott and Bohm have 2 of the highest batting average in the NL. Like, come on.
Yeah, why are you swinging at that?
Who was that?
I mean, not Garrett. I mean, I'm not complaining, but like, why are you? Why would you swing at that? That's one I would swing at in MLB The Show. The high fastball, the top of the batter's box fastball. But Thompson tends to overmanage or undermanage.
Mm-hmm.
He has too long a leash on some pitchers, too short a leash on others. He looks at lefty-righty matchups with the pitching, but doesn't look at the batting average or the production of the lefty-lefty matchups that our team seems to have.
Right.
Like, we are such an analytics-based team, but we refuse to look at the stats.
Great point.
And as I say that, Marte just got out of the inning. Only allowing one run on that isn't too bad.
Okay. You're right. That isn't too bad. And once again, that's why insurance runs are so important too.
Yeah, because you got to score more than 1 run to win unless you plan on no hitting the team. So you got to score runs to win, obviously. So, losing a game 2-0 against a team like this would be very bad. Especially with the offense we have. I mean, it was 1-0 until Turner hit that home run, which was the 6th inning. So, I mean, if we lost that game 1-0, that's on the offense, not on the pitching.
Right.
So but when you look at it, now that we're on to analytics and stats on this,
mm-hmm.
people look way too into it. I mean, I know there's advanced stats that calculate and are more that you can actually judge a player off of for the most part. But nothing will ever be as good as watching film, watching the games. Because people still say Bohm is not that good. He leads the team in RBI. Has one of the highest batting averages in the National League. He's super ridiculously clutch this year for some weird reason. It's him.
And he doesn't have as many errors as Trea Turner or some of the other guys.
That's true. They don't. And going back to Trea Turner and errors, when everybody decided to, for some reason, be nice to an underperforming, highly paid player for once, which, by the way, I supported.
Me too.
So I was one of the ones that was saying, please do it, support the player, but that's on brand for us. We support the players no matter what, almost.
Go back to episode 35. We said it.
Yeah. So we did support that. But I'm just saying it's really funny that we finally decided to cheer a highly paid underperforming player. But somebody decided to post a link to the V Foundation, which is a foundation that Trea Turner and his family strongly support. And obviously whatever amounts were appreciated. But somebody donated $14 and said it was for every error he's had so far this season.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I remember the number, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that fan.
It's hilarious. It's the most Philadelphia thing. It's funny. And it's a way to say we support you, but like
Get it together.
yeah. There's this team, this fan base is just hilarious, and you can't convince me that there's a better one. I don't care.
Well, and then listen to all the interviews that the players gave after that, after the standing ovation.
Yep.
Of course, Turner, but then also Stott and Harper. Stott, especially, I really appreciated what he said.
Yep.
He said, in the media, you always talk about how free agents don't want to come, athletes aren't happy in Philly. It's, too rough of an environment. And he was like, no, I love it. We love it. That's Philly.
Yeah. I mean, look at the postseason last year, except for the World Series. Don't look at that one, but look at the rest. I mean, you can look at Game 3, I guess, but don't look at the other ones.
The game that I was at also. It's just me.
I'm
the
blame
difference.
you for losing the World Series.
It's true. It's
and
my
the Super
fault.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Because weren't you at the NFC Championship game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. You were there for the Stott walk-off against the Angels. You were there for the NFC Championship
I was
game. NLDS.
I was at the yes.
You weren't at the NLCS though, were you? You went to an NLCS game, but not the clinching one, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you did not go to the NLCS clinching one, but you went to Game 3. And you went to the only World Series game in Philadelphia that we won.
Yeah. So it's my fault.
100%. But also, Trea Turner did buy a billboard and put "Thank you, Philly," so that it's just this city is crazy, and there is nothing and no one like this fan base.
Yeah.
The way we show out for our team is just special. Like the curtain call for Trea, Lorenzen's no-hitter. They're making Lorenzen jerseys now. I mean, and there's going to be people buying it. Of course.
I mean, he's a Philly legend now.
Yeah, literally in the history books. But I'm not going to compliment any pitcher until the outing is done, because everybody knows, if you know me, my luck is bad with complimenting any pitcher. So shout out Nola. Now that I can say it, shout out Nola for having a good game today. But yeah, literally look at every single quote from players about this team. Like, you can't beat it. And then you look at someone like Sean Rodriguez, who had one good moment as a Philly, a walk-off home run, and he takes advantage of the time, the camera time he actually gets for once, and slanders the fan base and was booed every single time he was in Philadelphia after that. So you just gotta they just gotta understand that we care. And no fan base cares like us. I don't care what anybody says.
That's right.
There's teams that, have really good energy and are as chaotic as us. But there's a reason they called it 4 hours of hell in the playoffs last year.
Yeah. I love that
now
quote.
that I think about it, I think it was the Padres. Maybe.
I mean, Topper said it was one of the managers, which is why I thought maybe the Braves.
The only reason why I think it was the Braves is because the tickets were cheaper. So you get more of the true Philly fans, the ones that are sitting way up high. You get more of those people because they're cheaper.
And they've been drinking all day.
So, and it was the first postseason in Philadelphia in over 10 years.
Yeah.
So I think it was I really think it was a Braves. And
Me
I
too.
mean, I was at Game 3, the first one in Philadelphia in 10 years, and they were relentless. We were chanting DUI, we were chanting Strider, we were just brutal.
And that was Lorenzen's exact quote. I've never been a part of a team where the fans are also a part of the team.
Yeah. And I hate when people are like, oh, you're saying we? Do you play for the team?
Oh, I hate that too.
Dude, I spend so much money on tickets, jersey, parking, gas, tolls if I'm going up to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I record a freaking podcast.
We're going to say we, and we can name 5 players.
It's we. I can name a crap load of players. My immaculate grid when Philly is involved is great. Okay, so it's we.
Yep.
Like, I don't care how you want to put it, it's we.
And more than any other city, more than any other fan base, when we say we, that we really mean it.
Oh yeah. We had such an influence in the home field. Oh, JT just got hit. Oh, that's painful.
Is he catching right now or batting?
Catching. Ooh, that looked painful.
It happens consistently.
It does.
I feel really bad.
Ooh. And he has his hand back too, and it still hit. Yikes.
Aww.
That's painful. I couldn't be a catcher. It's painful. But anyway, so 9th inning, 0-2, no outs. Kimball's up, so hopefully.
Great. And the score is 6-2, Phillies?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so it's looking good.
It is. So, speaking of looking good, the week ahead. Tomorrow, or today, when you're watching this episode, we play Minnesota for 3 games. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
We're off on Monday. We're off on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday is a 2-game series in Toronto.
Okay.
And then Friday, Saturday, we're in DC. And neither of us are able to go to either game. Oh, you're going to the 18th, right?
I'm going the 18th with Shelby, another amazing friend that we've met through this podcast, through Philly's Twitter. So shout out to Shelby.
Shout out Shelby. And then we're going to be talking about this later too, but we play Washington on Sunday in Cooperstown. It's a special game, and it's going to be really cool to have something like this for the Little League World Series kind of thing. Taiwan Walker is going up against Josiah Gray, which, if there's any pitcher I want going up against Josiah Gray in a cool game like that, it's Taiwan Walker.
It's going to be amazing.
Hopefully. Now that I just complimented Taiwan Walker, who knows?
We'll say it was a general compliment.
I'll wear my Trea Turner shirt that day to bring it extra luck, because apparently this shirt, hammer of Phillies win.
I have noticed that too when I wear my powder blue Trea Turner.
So why aren't you wearing it tonight? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we have the
Because I had to promote. Go on our Instagram or our Twitter. The link is there. That will take you to our link tree, which has every relevant link to our podcast. But at the top is the link to buy the merch.
Is it the top? Yeah, it's somewhere.
It's the first link.
It says merch.
Oh, yeah.
It's really comfortable. Like it's the same kind of shirts from Philly sports trips. We use the same brand, and so does Drunk Phil's fans.
Yes.
And I know I've done an episode or whatever in their shirt, which is also comfortable. So 10 out of 10, love them.
I can confirm it's extremely soft, extremely comfortable.
Black, white, and red. Black, white, and red.
Correct. And I'll probably get multiple versions, multiple cuts, sizes, colors, all those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were talking about the week ahead.
Yes.
I'm feeling optimistic. I get nervous when I say that.
I was just gonna say that's. Whew. So, from tomorrow, Friday to next Friday, how are you feeling? Because we're gonna do an episode. I might not be on the episode next week. I'll be on vacation. We'll see what happens with that. But next week, what are you thinking?
Minnesota, it seems to be kind of at least when you look at they've won 60 games, so they're 60 and 57. We are 63 and 52. Yeah.
When did the Twins get Dallas Keuchel?
I don't know. Was that a trade acquisition?
I don't know, but he pitches tomorrow whenever we play him. Pitches the next game. Yeah, he pitches tomorrow. Weird. I didn't know they got Dallas Keuchel.
Mm-hmm.
Is that game? Get it, Bomer? Boom!
Oh, no.
Alec. Hold on, replay that, because before I say he should have had that. Oh, yeah, he absolutely should have had that.
Well, speaking of defense, I think I meant to say, I think another reason why Lorenzen got the no-hitter is because Rojas was in center field and all of the balls went to him, and he got every single one. Castellanos, of course, was amazing in right field. There were 15 of those balls that went up into the outfield, and they were all caught.
15 of 27 possible outs were pop flies in the outfield. So that's kind of crazy. Did you see? Okay, well, we won. Did you see the quote from Rojas about his final catch?
No, what did he say?
I love this kid so freaking much. He said, no matter what, I wanted that last out, and I was going to get that last out. Whether it was easy, hard, in between, I was going to get it.
And you could tell that because when he caught it, his reaction, like, again, this is a brand new teammate. Maybe he doesn't know. I doubt he knows Lorenzen very well, but just that kind of winning attitude and contributing to the team. As we've said before, Johan Rojas especially has been such a spark. And I admit that I was wrong in being like, what is this move and why are you calling him up from AA?
No, because it wasn't even like a question. It wasn't even like a bad take. It's still not it was very questionable because
we
hadn't seen AAA pitching, and he was just starting to get hot. He was just starting to actually hit. That was the biggest concern of Rojas as a prospect, his hitting. And he finally starts hitting in AA, and all of a sudden we call him up.
Yeah, I mean, I stand by the concerns that we had. It's just clearly we've been Dave continuing to cook all around.
I mean, Lorenzen, the only one that hasn't done anything yet is Castro for Bailey Falter, but that's it's still so new and he doesn't get much playing time.
Exactly.
So obviously give him a second to adjust, and because it's not like he's playing every day and it's not like he's a star.
Mm-hmm.
So he is not an everyday player. It's a new city. Oh, Trey gets the daycare treatment.
Love that. Trey care.
Twice in 1 week. I love it. No, but we always try to be glass half full anyway.
Yep.
So all I'm gonna say is we'll see how that one works out. It's obviously way too soon. Even Lorenzen is still way too soon because you don't know what's gonna happen. But Rojas, as soon as he starts, really hitting, he's gonna be a stud.
I was messaging, speaking of the Phillies coming to DC next weekend, I was messaging Nicole. Shout out to Nicole. We went to college together. She also lives in the DC area. And she was like, I'm trying to calculate whether Lorenzen's going to pitch on Friday. Like,
who is pitching on Friday? Let me see.
On Friday the 18th.
It is Lorenzen.
Yes.
Why do you got Trey's first at-bat ever in any type of Phillies uniform in spring training? You're getting Lorenzen.
I have a Harper Grand Slam and a Stott walk-off. I have a 7-0 World Series game. I have the JT Real Muto inside the park home run. I'm the reason for all the success and all the failures.
You got that crazy NLCS game. Right? That was when they went back and forth, right? Or was that? Yeah, that game went back and forth. The one you were in, the one you went to, right? That was a back and forth game, or was it the one where, or was the back and forth game Harper's swing of his life? No,
that one, I think was back and forth. Again, it's so many.
It's it's
so many to keep track of. Yeah,
I think game 3 was super back and forth, and we finally won. And I think game 5. Yeah, we won in 5. So game, whatever. You went to the back and forth one. And the game we won, I'm pretty sure, was the one where we blew it in the end because of the rain. And then Harper had that swing.
I wasn't at that one.
No, I know. That's the one that you weren't at,
yeah.
Surprisingly.
I know. Good thing they still won without me.
Yeah.
Speaking of her,
they're interviewing Trey about the billboard, but I can't hear it. Whatever.
Oh, yeah. I'll go back and watch it later. Yeah. But speaking of Harper, he left tonight's game.
Yes.
My nephew called.
Spasm, right?
Yeah, very concerned.
Aw.
Well, he was just wondering. I mean, he wasn't like that. He wasn't very upset. He was just like, why is Harper taken out? So
I thought it was because he got hit in the face with a baseball.
I had to check what the reporters were saying, and I said that's what I told him. And hopefully these mid-back spasms aren't bad, aren't serious.
Let me see real quick, because muscle spasms can have causes that aren't due to underlying. Oh, that's health conditions. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend I am. But back issues for any kind of player is concerning. But for a power hitter like Harper,
yeah. I have a doctor in my family. I feel like he would say that they could be caused for many reasons. He could be dehydrated. He could be, and he's just started to hit for power again. So maybe that's why.
Bryce can't catch a break, man.
I know. I really hope it's nothing and that he can come back soon. But
yeah,
we just never know.
You never know. All right. Well, a little bit of a shorter episode in a way. Phillies won. Pretty decent week, I would say, to be a Phillies fan. The Lorenzen no-hitter, the Trea resurgence, the Castellanos homers everywhere, Liam literally being everywhere. We had it all this week. It's been fun, and hopefully by this time next week, if I'm here, I'll be saying the same thing. If I'm not, hopefully I'm still saying the same thing on Twitter. So we'll see. And with that, I just want to remind everybody that we are part of the Fired Up Sports Network. Shout out to everybody under that's
yes, we love them. We love all of the podcasts under that network. So support them all.
Yes. And with that being said, hopefully I'll see you next week. Jen will definitely see you next week. So
thank you.
Thank you as always, and check out the merch.
Get the merch. It looks great. It's comfy.
It does.
Okay.
See you next week.
Bye.